yesterday well, first, if you like this channel, like and subscribe. But yesterday we left off with outreach, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit and address some comments, and then just chat and paint and drink some coffee with everyone. Oh, Mama Mode's here. Hi. I'm glad you are here. So, when we were at outreach, it was actually just 3 RVs. Unfortunately, one looked like it had had a recent fire and was no longer available. Hi, Matayek. Thank you. Um, so we were doing the outreach, and we were coming back, and I saw a couple walking up the road, and you know, one had a backpack, but that doesn't say anything. That doesn't. So I walked up and I said, "Hey, so I've got these supplies, and they're for the unhoused. Do you live in this area? Is this one of your?" And the woman turns around. She's like, "Do I look like I'm homeless?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, see, that would be where you're wrong, because there is no look. That's a stereotype. There is no look to somebody who is unhoused. I think people, because they will see someone look this way and be unhoused, and maybe another person that looks similar, and they'll just group everybody into that. And there is no look that is particular to being unhoused. And you'll see it in a lot of memes and jokes. A good one is the messy bun, which I'll admit I leaned on heavily while I was unhoused. Messy bun was where it was at, because it was very hard to do anything else with my hair. But I think that really needs to be addressed. I think in the narrative is that there really is no look, and that's really hurtful to people. And so, like I told her, I said, I would. The reason I asked if you lived in the area is because if you need socks, regardless of whether you're unhoused or not, I'll give you some socks. Like, it doesn't have to be that where it is an insult to offer help. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about that and just kind of processing that. But other than that, we got some supplies out. It was great. We only met one person, unfortunately. Nobody was really home. So it is what it is, and we'll just be back out there regardless, giving stuff out at some point. Probably, honestly, well, I'm going to try to do some stuff this week, but I don't know how much I'll be able to get out this week. I have got just like full schedule. I'm gonna address some more comments. Oh, hey, Caleb. Hi, Mary. Hi. Hello. So this is the painting that I am currently working on. This has been a project for a while now, like at least a few days. And so I'm just kind of like, I let it sit, and then I go back, and it's just when I paint things like this, it's just more like how I'm feeling, or like it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's just something that I get into, and every piece turns out a little different. I am looking at something called, I was looking up stuff today, and there was something called the NFT. So I'm gonna look at that too for some of my artwork, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna take some research and understanding what that actually is. So I will keep you guys posted. Mahai. Oscar, hello. Hello from Mexico City. Hello from Seattle. And as you can see, I am very comfortable today. I have borrowed Shelly's onesie, and so I'm having some fun. Oh, who is my favorite painter? Oh, there's so many that I like. And I would say that my favorite mainstream, like, I guess I would have to say I really do like Renoir. All right, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. And that's the problem, is that I'm not as educated as I should be on painters. So I know that I like Impressionism a lot, and I kind of found out why. And the reason for that is I'm nearsighted. So everything, if I take the glasses off, everything looks like an impressionistic painting. So that's actually how I see the world regularly without glasses. And so everything's like really soft and a little blurred, and so it's interesting to see that I do like paintings that are a little like that. Um, but art in general, there's just so many artists that are just absolutely amazing in so many styles and so many so many medias, from digital to painting to woodworking to, so it's hard for me. I don't do favorites real well. I guess that was a really long explanation for I have no idea. Uh, some things I could say shorter. I'm gonna have a little bit of coffee. So, are there any updates on how everybody is? Anybody want to throw a win of the week in there? Miss Mischief. So, I'm going to show you guys. This is my grand kitty. In other words, Shelly and the baby's kitty. And today, her and Raja have made painting very difficult. Like, I'm glad you're doing all right. Matthias says he's doing all right. Hi, Nocturnal Explorer. So I am. Oh, that is a hard one. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I don't want to do things phonetically because I just end up sounding ridiculous. Again, the barriers of really, not only not knowing other languages, but not being exposed to the access to education when I was young that would have made that possible. And unfortunately, with a bunch of brain injuries, it's kind of something that I want to do, but it's kind of holding out hope as to whether I would be able to functionally, without hearing it all the time and being completely immersed in it, be able to understand another language. Let's see. Picasso. Picasso is nice. So good to see you smile. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pretty relaxing day. I will admit, I am so, so tired of the rain. Thank you, Oscar. Actually, yeah, it's really cool because I just looked out and it's totally like pink skies, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Leland, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Amanda, have you visited a museum here in Europe? I am. When I lived in Germany, I didn't go a whole lot of places really outside, so I kind of stuck to that area. Um, but I think it's important that, the ones even though I've been certain places, like I've been through Luxembourg, I don't remember that specifically. But I remember Belgium. I went to a really, really nice cafe. They were amazingly sweet and wonderful. In Germany, I went and saw some castles. One of my favorite places, honestly, because I'm never going to be the person that likes to do large tourist stuff ever. I I want to work in my soul for the best of people, but I do not like being around large groups of people. I just don't. Especially when I'm trying to look at something and concentrate, it can get very distracting and I start getting overwhelmed and cranky. So it's just a thing. So what I would do is I got my license when I got there and we had a little vehicle and I had TJ at the time and we'd go visit these gelato shops because I'm from like at the time I hadn't traveled a whole lot and I was from, Montana, a rural community. And so it was really it was eye-opening and beautiful. And I used to go sit at this castle that was kind of it wasn't necessarily intact. It was just kind of like they had like a little bread and breakfast or something. It was called Kuzel Castle. And it overlooked, like they'd have nightlights, but it was like in ruins, but you could sit up on the walls and just kind of watch the valley below in this town. And I just thought it was like the best thing at the time. Like I really like stuff like that. And anything to do with like archaeology. Like I think that is phenomenal. And so what I'll do is I'll go on Airbnb and I will pick a country out and look at the experiences there and the types of like rentals that they have, so types of housing or things like that, and like what this thing is to do, like kind of immerse myself in it and think about what I would really like to do if I was somewhere that, not necessarily, not like just going to all the places that all the tourists go to, but really stopping at like little amazing places and, just experiencing things maybe from a different aspect. One of the things, though, I did realize is not every country has the same rules and regulations when it comes to service animals. And since no matter, if I take a long trip, Rowan comes with me. The only time she didn't is when I traveled across the country with Brian with my daughter's stuff. And that was just unbearable. Leaving Rowan, I just can't, like, I have to go somewhere that's dog friendly or service dog friendly, and that's just a must. I do not like being away from her for extended periods of time. It doesn't feel good at all. So I was looking at that too, but then again, that's the rabbit hole I went in, right? Is just looking at all of these things and like rules, regulations, and cost, and like I was looking at Costa Rica, and I was like, beach is nice. I'm like, you live near a beach. Why would you go to another beach necessarily? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the, there's beaches everywhere. But what I would like to see is like these amazing, like the the nature and the waterfalls and the things like that. And they had like this amazing like experiencing where it was small and you could go and you can even rent a car and do it yourself. And I was like, that's super awesome. So learning all this stuff really, I don't know, it's like daydreaming for me, if that makes sense. So I daydream a lot about that. Let's see. Oh, and my daughter went, and last month she went and toured Europe for a month. And she did that. She had a friend come for a week, but then the rest of it she did it by herself. It was so cool, and I'm so proud of her for that. Um, I like rain. You know what? I think rain is beautiful, but it hurts. Like it just like today, I thought my shoulder was like disconnected. Like rain and snow for me, as beautiful as they are, they just make me hurt. And so, like as soon as spring is here, I start to get really excited because spring here is out of this world. I I haven't really been to a place where spring just sometimes is breathtaking for me. And that I love that about this place. And it makes it I'll stay inside in the winter. Hi George. Oh, from West Virginia. Hello from Seattle. Travel vlogs? Yeah. I will definitely be vlogging, when I go on trips. Have I been to India? No, I have not. But that is, yeah, India is beautiful. I do the issue I have with certain countries, and India would be one of them, is really the population density. Um, I really, really get overwhelmed with a lot of people around me. And it can start to make me feel unsafe really quickly. And so I have to be very careful about where I travel to, that I'm not going somewhere where it's very chaotic, because I can also get lost very easily. And once that starts happening with my brain injury, I'll start getting confused. And when I get confused, then nothing is making sense. And it's really, really difficult. And so I try to stay away from anything that's going to deal with huge crowds or something like that. But I did look at some of the rural areas in India, and they were absolutely beautiful, beautiful. One country I've been exploring as well is Jordan. Um, yeah, it's Jordan has got some beautiful stuff, and I'm following this creator on TikTok, and again, I hope I don't mispronounce it, but Bedouin, and there's this thing where you can go stay, and it's in the desert and all the lights, so like zero light pollution, people. Zero light pollution. Can you imagine the stars? Ah! Right? And then Iceland with the northern lights. But I mean, Alaska has that too. But the pictures I've seen come out of Iceland from like friends that have gone, amazing. So I'm getting about zero painting done right now. Paint and chat and then do zero painting. um, Leland, I love to look at and photo old architectural buildings. I start doing it every time I go to my hometown, Peoria. Oh, yes, I like doing that too. And actually, me and Shelly were looking. I'll look up places to like go and do photography. The problem is we've been extremely busy. I really have not been able to get out and do that like I want to. But I have done several jobs this year with that. So I mean, I'm not getting out there for fun, but I am getting out there. So I guess six of one, half dozen of another. Um, but I do like that, and I like we wanted to go to these ghost like the ghost towns and things like that, and just really get some amazing um, photos of old architecture and things like that. And I still want to do that. I think that's pretty awesome. Um, Matayek, may I ask you when you lived in Germany and what you did there? Also, for how long? I lived in Baumholder, Germany for 2 years. So, yeah, 2 years. I came back before I was 21. I was married to a service member. Um, it was the father of two of my children. And when we went over, I was 18 years old. And we went over and I was a mom. And then I sold wine. When TJ was a baby, I had this job. It was like short term. And I sold wine at like the PX. And and I took like the boxes that it came in and made like a baby crate for him so I could do it. Because when you're over there, your husband. Oh, I gotta tell Shelly that I will call her back. Apparently, it does not shut off on calls. So I lived over there for about 2.5 years. My daughter was born there. We lived in Baumholder, and the country was beautiful. I still have a friend that lives over there, Micah. And we've never seen each other again, but we'll like get in touch every so often, like throughout the years. And then she got in touch with me like after, like right as I was coming out of homelessness, and sent like a gift card, and it was so beautiful. And for her to have remembered me and just remember me in kindness and love meant the world. And I love her so much, even though I haven't seen her in 24 years. But she was an amazing human being, and I'm sure she still is. So let's see. If you think about it, I'll go visit places that are basically the same as where we are. Right. And I don't want to do that because I think that, that's like that comfortability factor. And so I kind of want to push myself out of that comfort zone and really just experience a place as it is. It's almost like meeting people where they're at, experiencing places as they are, not as they're made to be optically for somebody coming out from a different country. And I mean, again, that goes with even here, like, as a woman, you do have to, consider safety measures. You got to consider internal things. Like for me, I know that crowds are a big no-no, especially if it's a crowd and I'm trying to understand what's going on, and maybe that's not the main language. So I do need to make accommodations so that I'm comfortable, but not comfortable as in, I'm going to go somewhere and it exactly the same. I don't want to do that. I want to experience stuff and have fun and just do what I do and live life like I do. Spring is awesome in India. I'll have to check that out. Your concerns are valid about India. Thank you. I try to, I just am really trying to process, like, because my friend went, oh, where'd she go? I don't remember. It was something in India, and she said it was just like, she showed pictures, and I was like, that would have been panic. That would have been all out panic, probably hospitalization. Like, I really can't do huge, large groups of people like that. Um, Hey, Mr. Lee's Artful Journey. I have gotten zero painting done. I apologize because I've been chatting, but it is called painting and chatting. So I figure I'll get to the painting here in a little bit. Leland, you have the most wonderful laugh. Thank you. Um, but having said that, do visit Northeast or South India someday. I will check that out. I will. Guess who's back? Omar, hello. Like you're unforgettable. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are so complimentary. It's so nice, and I totally appreciate that. I am, however, going to turn a little bit, and we'll get started on kind of finishing this bad boy up. So I'm going to, so you can kind of see a little better. Does that work? Okay. I see my little head here. All right. So I'm going to, at this point, what I'm doing is I'm going to work with this area here. There just needs to be some shadowing and some other stuff going on right here, because what I want is, like, this is actually going to, it's bright now, but this is going to be a little darker. The lines here will be cleaned up a little bit, as well as this, but I want the center of the light, I want it to be light filled about right in this area. If that makes sense. And we may not get to, like, the full painting. I just letting you know. A lot of times it takes me time. I'll sit with it and have to process it and then walk around it a little bit and just think, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. No. No. Can somebody, how do I, oh, God damn it. I need to set a moderator because I'm on my phone right now. So everybody just ignore Harvey, and Harvey, please go find something else to do. Okay, so getting up into here. So really what I want to do is just kind of create, I want this to be bright, but I also want to create a little bit of shadow in here so it looks a little more textured and it's just not straight lines. Also, just creating, like, the shadows in the path will show some of that. Guys, hold on just a second. I gotta figure something out. Okay, hold on. I figured it out. Cool. All right, awesome. All right, back to business. Oh, look, I got somebody watching. You guys, who's looking? Hi. Are you gonna watch me paint? I hope she watches me paint and doesn't just attack my paintbrush like she did earlier. And that was, I have to admit, that was a little annoying. What is going on? Okay, there we go. And so I've got here is where I'm using kind of, if you can tell, I'm using shiny paint, metallics. There we go. So in here is the metallics. We're just going to see, that's the bad part about, like, when you are doing stuff like this, it isn't so much that the trolls just really get to, like, this right here is ridiculous. And there we go. That should do it. I'm hoping. It can get distracting, and right now I'm trying to, like, really think about this and have a great conversation, and somebody who's ridiculous is just coming in, and that's not cool. So I doubt there's anybody else really on here that does this, but message from the heart, don't. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so I've got here, this is gold, but what I want to get is, no, that's not gold. That is the one I want. I was right. Mm. Okay, so I got like a bronze color, and there we go. And some green. Actually, I got a couple kinds of greens. And if you can see, and yes, I just used an old plate. Probably not the greatest, but whatevs. I work with what I've got. So a lot of times I will I'll use, it's acrylic, so it comes off pretty easy. It's giving it some depth. Let's see if there's any comments. Let's see. YouTube is being rude and a lot of trolls. It's good to get mods to block them. I agree. I need to do that. Mama mode is a pretty perky yellow. Yes. Am I self-taught? Absolutely. Like this, I don't want to. I do a bunch of different stuff, but yes, I am self-taught. I do. I do look at paintings from time to time. Like I don't try to copy them, but I do look at them just to see different ways. Like I was having trouble with waterfalls, and so I had to watch a bunch of stuff to figure out how to get the water to flow to make it look like water, things like that. But I do find that a lot of my paintings like this, where I'm just I don't even know what it's about. I'm just painting what I'm seeing and feeling, and so I'll do stuff like this where, it just is. This is one that I've done up there. So I also do hang them in my house, and I do sell them. So, but regardless, I paint them. I'm going to paint regardless of whether things sell or not. So I don't know if that's that's not really what motivates me. Sean, hello. Does the painting have a title yet? Nope, that's always after. Noodles will be here in a few moments. Great. Have you seen the movie about the Mexican Frida Kahlo? I have not, but I do like Frida's work. I don't watch tons of. I usually have TV playing for background, And when I am watching stuff, it's usually pretty simplistic. Like I'm binge watching something like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of my last one. Probably the new Dexter. I just watch like New Blood. Yeah, I watch I watch a lot of crime TV, and like we joke about it and call it murder TV, which is horrible and whatever, but I think it's a way of just coping. I don't even know. And comedies. I really like comedies. As long as they're like an actual comedy and not like a rom-com, because I don't find those very cute. Um, Thank you, Leland. Hi, Vincent. Cheers from Poland. Cheers from Seattle. Do I have my Christmas decorations up yet? No. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have a tree right now. So as soon as I get a tree, they will be up. Which, yeah, I usually have it up like right after Halloween, but I guess this year's a little different, and I'm okay with that. Plus, I have a new kitten, so I mean, makes me feel centered on the brightness of hope while surrounded by gloom. Yeah, I think that that was kind of where I was going, was really the feeling of like a path in the dark, point light in the dark, or something like that. And like I said, I don't always have exactly what I'm thinking in mind, but and I'm mixing some more color. Getting there. By the way, a lot of times too, and I don't even know if that's the right way or not, but I will mix the colors on the canvas. And then sometimes when I'm painting, I will see things come through that need to be painted in there that weren't necessarily there. So I actually, and I have to like look at it for a minute because I'll decide like whether it belongs in there or not. But I was kind of like thinking about like maybe adding something in here, but I haven't looked at it enough to really decide like if there's gonna, because like right here is looking where I might do like some rock placement or something, you know. That's how it goes along, is I'll just, I just get lost in it. If that, I hope that's understandable. Like, it's something that I can absolutely get lost in. All right. Okay. Okay. Another brush. Um, oh, hi, Christina. Thank you so much. Have you made a self portrait? No, I haven't. I've never done that. God bless. Thank you so much. Good, James. Hope you are well too. Okay, so now I want to get just a little darker than this, and I'm just gonna start like right here, just kind of filling in some so it's not so like one dimensional, I guess. And I think I'm probably like the most disorganized painter because I literally do just dump all my paints on the ground and decide which ones I like. Probably why it takes me so long. If I was organized, like, just knock them out. Yeah, I doubt that though. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Um, I was sent a gift and I got it yesterday after I got back, and I just wanted to say thank you. So whoever sent me this bird feeder, it didn't come with a note, but I want you to know that I super appreciate it. I love birds, and having a feeder off my balcony would be absolutely amazing. And when I move, I'm sure I'll have a patio or balcony because that's like one of those like must-haves. So thank you very much. All right, let's get. It's getting there. Just one moment. That is much more helpful. I was having trouble seeing what I'm doing, and actually, I can move this over. There we go. Let's see. Um, How old was I when I first started painting? Well, my first memories of painting were when I was a child. um, I would say when I started actually like painting, I was in my 30s. But before that, like I stopped for a long time. I used to draw as a kid, and one of my foster parents was an artist and used to paint labs all over that. And I think maybe I was trying to connect, or I was just really interested in drawing. So I'd draw, and they would just cut down every single thing I did and just made me feel really completely what they did had me feeling like that wasn't something that I could do and wouldn't be good at. When I started overcoming those things, I was probably really in my 30s and decided that it was something that mattered. I think so many times art is looked at as a waste of time, and I think it's something that you put your whole self into your artwork, and it is definitely worth every second you spend on it. And so I think it just was my attitude changing on it. And then I do remember like the excitement when I sold my first paintings. Oh my gosh, I was like over the moon. And I mean, I'm still like super excited and, grateful when I do. It's just that first experience was like, wow, it was super validating. And yeah, it's it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I love it. Okay. Can you guys still see? Um, Thank you. I appreciate that, Matai. And one thing I do like doing, if you'll notice I keep like tapping it, it's to get some texture in there. Because what I really like to do is like when I get some texture in there, I can go over with that darker color and it almost shadow itself. And it just starts becoming. So I really do like adding some texture to the painting. Like this, no texture. That definitely has texture. Do you have to be careful though? Otherwise, like especially with acrylics, you can end up piling them on and they will crack. Live, you learn. What was I doing? And if I wasn't vlogging, I would definitely probably have this painting down further. But for everybody to be able to see, and it looks from like there, it's hard for everybody to see anyway, kind of exactly what I'm doing. It would have to be much closer, but I'm like doing my best. Do I paint digitally by using a tablet with a computer? I never have. That would be something to try. My laptop turns into a tablet, so that would be great. Oh, from Russia. Hello from Seattle. Beautiful colors. Thank you, Pumpkin Beach. You too, George. Um, that's what I was talking about though with like the NFTs. There are painters and stuff that do that. I just, yeah, I'm looking at different options. throw some comments, rest my arm for a second. What you doing, little bit? Okay. Looking for the one I want. I'm looking for a particular paintbrush. Ah, there it is. Found it! Found it! Okay. Now what I'm doing is, I kind of got the texture on there, got that going. What I want to do is I want to make sure that this shadow, it just goes up into light. So I'm taking just the gold. I didn't mix anything with it this time. And I'm just coming down the middle a little bit. So that you can see a little better, I'm going to attempt this. Ah, there we go. Okay. So you can kind of see. Okay. Now my cord's getting in the way. And there goes the bird feeder. But my coffee did not go, so that's great. So that's what I was doing. And just darkening the bottom a little bit. And you see towards the top, and then it's coming down with the tree, and then we've got this here. And then we've got the dark forest, and then the leaves on this are also metallic. Whoop. Almost knocked over my paint water. Uh-oh. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna see if there's any more comments, and then I'm actually probably gonna go so I can get this done. So anyway, guys, it's been almost an hour, and I so appreciate you all, and thank you for joining me on this live. I think you're all wonderful. And if you follow me on Instagram, I will post a finished product probably in a couple days, because this one I'm like trying to like really feel on, and it's been my one that's getting me through this overwhelmed thing that I've had going on. Ooh, I wish I knew. I think that's Russian. I cannot pronounce your name at this time. Is it? It almost looks like Mada or Mada. Hello though. Anyhow, like I said, please forgive me. I try. I am trying to get this back on the thing that holds the thing. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you so very, very much, and I am gonna get going here and probably call Shells back and get to work on my painting. Yeah, so thank you all very much, and I hope you all have a lovely evening or day or morning or whatever it is, okay? Thanks, bye.